So I've got a question regarding relationships, time together, time apart. What do you think about this one, Hudson?
Okay.
And this, I feel like, is something that people struggle with early on because of what many realize is the honeymoon phase. The first couple months when you're dating, you want to hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And then as time goes on, you realize that you have to be together, but you actually despise each other. So if you are in a relationship, how much together time is too much together time?
Are we talking like before you're actually like married or living together?
I think we could split it up and we can do it in the beginning of the relationship.
Yeah, like dating.
Maybe you just started dating, and then maybe a more seasoned relationship. Maybe we can navigate how you do it when you're living together.
Yeah.
Which is completely different than when you first start dating.
Well, I'll tell you that I think when you get married, when you're living together, there becomes a lot of pressure, at least for me and my wife. It felt like...
Be careful here.
Yeah. I'll tread lightly. I think there's a lot of pressure that now you're living together, you just do everything together. If one of you is watching TV, you're both watching TV. And so you got to be careful of that, at least if you're like me, because sometimes you just need your own time. So that's something that, my wife and my relationship have found is you got to create space for your own self, some solo time.
Maybe you need many people call that like a boys' night.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't have to be even with other people.
Maybe just yourself.
Sometimes
maybe just a boy night.
That's right.
Me, myself, and I.
Sometimes, yeah, you just, you need some me time, and that's what you need. So, but earlier on in the relationship, it is tough. That's tough because when you're first dating, the instincts are, I want to be around this person all the time. But that might not necessarily be what sets you up for success long term. Things could fizzle out real quick.
Let's hear what some of you guys think coming back after the break. We'll take some of your guys' answers. When you first started dating your significant other, were you one of those people that you were together nonstop? Because I have a couple friends that are hot and cold on this. Either they're with their new girlfriend all the time, or it seems like they don't really like each other at all, which could be a red flag in itself.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
How much time together is just too much time? Whether you just started dating or maybe you're married, you found yourself in a situation where you and your significant other only do things together.
You found yourself in that situation.
You found yourself in this odd little situation where you never hang out with anyone except for your partner.
Yeah.
And so the question we're trying to tackle here today is, let's talk about early in relationships. Because a lot of my friends who are just kicking off relationships right now, they either find themselves in a situation where they're with their significant other every day, and this has been a constant complaint for many of my friends, and then they start, not the one in the relationship either, they start not hanging out with their friends at all.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
And only hanging out with their girlfriend, or if you invite them, like, hey, do you want to do this or that, there's never a time when she is also there, which is okay. I don't mind. Some people mind more than me. But I don't mind.
Yeah, well, sometimes there's certain venues where that's not as welcome.
When it's like all the guys.
Yeah.
And then your buddy
you just want to get together and play poker.
He's like, can I bring my girl?
No,
I'm like,
girls allowed.
You can bring her into the boys' treehouse. Fine, she can come. Usually it's no girls allowed, but this time we'll let it slide.
Yep.
Or I think it's also more of a thing if you aren't down to spend a lot of time together. I've never understood because one of my friends in specific, he's been hanging out with this girl, right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't want to hang out with her. And so in my mind, I'm like, do you even like her? You know? Because I was talking to him the other night, and he was like, yeah, she wants to hang out on Friday, but I feel like I would rather just hang out with you guys on Friday. And he hasn't seen her in a week. And I'm like, well, if you'd rather just hang out with us, do you really like hanging out with her?
That
or maybe we shouldn't hang out
flag.
anymore. Yes. It seems odd to me.
Yeah. I mean, it's important for the two people. You have to have a balance. And I think a lot of relationships falter on that early on it's what does them in is you and the other person aren't on the same page as far as how much time you want to spend together. I'll give you an example. For me, and one of the first gals I dated, we would hang out very frequently, and I was into that. But here's where we ran into the issue, because you just got to respect the other person's boundaries. Because at a certain point in the night, I'd be like, okay, because we were always hanging out at her place. I got to go. I got stuff to do in the morning and whatever. And she saw that as, oh, you don't want to hang out with me.
Oh.
Yeah, very clingy. And that lasted for a while, but it probably shouldn't have, because she wasn't respecting my boundaries. You got to do what's best for me sometimes, you know?
Yeah, Sam, on a similar note, just texted in at 8772 Radio U. He said, I think that really depends on whether or not you are an introvert or extrovert. He said, personally, he or she is an introvert and needs their separate time in their own little world. We're doing my own things at least once a day for I don't know how long. Otherwise, I get a little bit of an attitude.
Yeah.
Which
yes, I'm the same way.
Yes, if you're with them for too long, and sometimes you need just some time to decompress and be able to do your own thing, even if it's like, I'm even okay with, we can still hang out if we can just sit in the same room and just enjoy comfortable silence. Maybe we spend an hour and I just get to watch the movie. And maybe we don't talk and we can still hang out, but we're just not talking.
The best marriages are built around comfortable silence.
Yeah, it's a very underrated thing.
Yes.
And you don't have to be talking. You can just hang out together, enjoy each other's company.
Yeah, enjoy each other's phones.
Yeah. If you like that video, there's a ton more. Go check out our past videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.